What is shocking is that it emerged months before we expected the court to publish its decision, and it emerged through a leak, which is something extraordinarily rare from the Supreme Court. This has not been published by the court, so even if it is an authentic document, it is a draft document and does not necessarily reflect the court's final word on the matter.
Diesel prices skyrocketing, Met Gala 2022, board member dismissal raising eyebrows, and goodbye women's rights. May the 4th be with you. It is Wednesday, May the 4th, 7:03 a.m. This is Good Morning Brownsville, and my name is Frankie Olivo. For the weather, everyone's favorite segment, of course, it's gonna be a warm day. We should be expecting sunny skies this afternoon with some breezy conditions. Brownsville is looking at a cool 90 degrees. South Padre Island, the Cabrera boys, 79 degrees. Harlingen, 92. Throughout the week, we should expect some rain, a slight chance of rain on Friday, perhaps Saturday at 15%. So perfect beach weather, of course. If you haven't already, make sure you enjoy the South Padre Island as much as possible. Now, for pop culture, we always try to stay in tune with what's out there. Recently, the who's who of superstars, they met up for the Met Gala 2022. Our own Brownsville's very own Elon Musk was present for this event, and the gala it serves as an annual fundraiser for the Costume Institute benefit, which is held every year in New York City at the Metropolitan Museum of Arts. And again, it is regarded as one of the world's most prestigious celebrity fashion events. Celebrities known around the world in different professions such as theater, music, art, television, social media, sports, politics. They're all invited to the gala, which is organized by Vogue magazine. And of course, the who's who of celebrities were there. We had the famous Kim Kardashian with Skeet, as Kanye likes to refer to him. She wore Marilyn Monroe's dress in which she sang "Happy Birthday" to President Kennedy. We had Katy Perry there, Lady Gaga. It was just a star-studded event. The theme was Gatsby, or that's what the theme was this year. It was an old-fashioned theme, and again, we had Papi Musk with his mother May in attendance. He was asked, by a reporter. She stated, you recently acquired Twitter. Couldn't you have used that money towards good for the world? And he had a great response. He stated, well, what we're doing with Tesla and what we're doing with SpaceX is going to benefit humanity in the long run. Tesla, as we all know, this electric car company, they are trying to veer away and go to the new age of being less dependent on oil and gas. He says that his focus on transit in bigger cities such as LA and Las Vegas will help alleviate and help humanity with less traffic. And for SpaceX, his exploration, his quest to have commercial flights to Mars or to outer space would be a great benefit towards humanity. So the Met Gala did take place on Monday. Bad Bunny was there. He was dressed, kind of. I personally liked it out. I would have just worn pants, but I've always wanted to go old school and get those ruffle things. I don't know, just to walk around like that. I think it'd be pretty cool. Bad Bunny's album does come out on Friday, so we will be anticipating his reggaeton music dropping soon. And local prices, uh, inflation. As we all know, inflation has been affecting many of us as of late. It is hard, one, to find a job, and everything. It seems as if life is getting even more expensive. Gasoline is going up. Um, Food prices is going up. Well, now it's going to get even worse in the very near future. We are on the brink of summer starting. People start to travel, but more importantly, our food. Our food is just about to get a little bit more expensive. We have seen throughout the Rio Grande Valley in particular, and of course, we always focus on the valley because it affects Brownsville. Well, we have been seeing as of late a large increase in diesel prices. Now, while many of us have complained and argued and stated, "Hey, you know, once Biden came into office, you know, everything's been more expensive. Inflation's been through the roof. The war with Russia and Ukraine has also affected gas prices. Well, diesel now is getting a little bit more expensive. In the Rio Grande Valley, we are seeing the prices skyrocketed. Now, you might say, you know, hey, not very many cars use diesel. You know, there are some excursions. I remember my aunt back in the day bought an excursion, and all we heard was click, 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 because of the diesel. But the diesel fuel burns slower than gas and lasts longer. The dynamics of diesel is different because it's a bypass of gas. I try to understand it. It's some sort of it's I don't know. It's intertwined with gas, but now diesel is getting even more expensive, and this is affecting truck drivers. This is affecting small entrepreneurs, and again, once it started affecting the business owners, that's when us, the consumer, is where we will feel it in our pockets. Now, truck drivers have an interesting business because their goal is to, of course, take as many trips, as many loads as possible, to make as much money as possible. And their goal is to buy one truck, and then after X amount of years, buy another truck and keep on going to one day have a fleet of trucks. Well, that's the idea behind these business owners. Well, now they're saying that with these prices, that these change in prices, that's no longer a possibility. And again, this COVID has really affected a lot of people. It has affected people from all walks of life. We have seen gas prices skyrocket. So many people have not been able to transition or to get back on their feet, so to speak, because of COVID, and also now because of the gas prices. So our truck drivers will be feeling the pinch, because they are the ones that bring our goods and services to and from our different stores. Now, it is important to note that summer is right around the corner, and as we all know, it is around that time that the gas prices go up. It's not just us in vehicles; it also affects truck drivers. So how will this affect the Rio Grande Valley moving forward? It's going to affect us in our pockets. It's going to affect us in the food. Now, whenever we go to HEB, whenever we go to our local supermarket, we will see an increase. Now, one might say, hey, a couple cents here, a couple bucks here doesn't make a difference. You could make that argument, but at the same time, again, many people are still suffering economically. Life, as we know it, is expensive. Just going out on a night out, it is an easy $60, $80, depending on where you go and what you do, of course. But now we will be seeing it, or we will be feeling it in our pockets. The diesel prices are hitting record numbers in the Rio Grande Valley. Diesel, which was once seen as a benefit, again, because it lasts longer compared to gas. Well, now our truck drivers are feeling it, are feeling the pinch. and they of course will be able to charge a lot more because, well, they have to pay for that extra amount of gas. In local news, in other local news, Brownsville ISD's board member, Minerva Peña, got her nepotism case dismissed by a visiting judge. This case arises from a board member who it is alleged or was alleged that she used her position to be able to give her daughter-in-law a position. It was learned after so much time that this occurred, and it was presented to the board member, either you resign or the employee is fired. The employee was eventually fired, and from some say that from the effects or from the sadness of going through a divorce, having a tumultuous relationship, and being fired from her employment caused this young woman to take her life. That caused major uproar and caused many to question, who's at fault? Whose blood is at fault? Who has blood on their hands? This case got so much attention and so much pressure that Miss Minerva Peña was eventually indicted for nepotism. Now, the interesting thing is that there are many that say, and haven't been able to get to the bottom of this, that she didn't in fact vote on that day or on that item, that she didn't use her position, that she did not use her influence to get this job for her daughter-in-law. Now, again, BISD is the juggernaut. BISD, we all know, it seems it is the land of opportunity for many. Many have used friends and family and connections to be able to climb up that ladder, to get certain positions, to become principals. This isn't something new. This is something that has been going on for years. One may not be able to question or to be able to see that, the effects or what is going on, but many people have a general understanding of what is going on. Now, the interesting thing about this case is that it led to a young lady committing suicide for these charges to be brought upon this board member. Now, what is interesting about this case is that the timing of it all. It is stated that the defense for Ms. Peña did file a motion to quash the indictment. And a motion to quash is pretty much asking the judge, look, judge, the state of Texas did not meet their burden in fulfilling these requirements that are needed in order for my client to get arrested, that they did not do sufficient. They did not do enough to bring this evidence to you to merit this arrest. So we feel that you should dismiss this case. That is what the defense filed. What is interesting was that it was not, from my understanding, no decision or no ruling was done on the date of the hearing. And this was back in March. So the parties are expecting a decision from the judge. Now, the way it works is whenever a judge makes a decision, an order is signed. There is a motion and then there's an order. Each party could file whatever motion they'd like. They have to present it to the court. They have to present it to the opposing party. The opposing party, it gives them sufficient time to prepare to go before the judge. What is interesting about this case is that the judge didn't really issue her ruling. Her ruling was through an order. Now, is that common? It happens. I'm not saying that this is unordinary. It happens. But again, everything's very, very mushy, very wishy-washy. The order was signed. The order to dismiss this case was signed back in March, but it was recently file stamped by our district clerk a month later. Now, I can vouch for my Cameron County employees. I know what it's like to be in the trenches. I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed. Um, Running a court is very difficult. Running a court takes a lot of patience and a lot of uh, you being you doing 3 or 4 or 5 things at once. That's what I've learned. The interesting thing is that things happen, and sometimes paperwork gets overlooked. Things get priority. There's more priority because there's probably a trial going on. There's something pressing, so maybe things get put on the back burner, so to speak. But a case of this magnitude that has a visiting judge should have more special attention, right? I would think. But the interesting thing about this case is that her case was dismissed by an order that was signed. And the proper procedure once this happened is for that order to get file marked by the clerk and that file mark is the clerk's way of saying, I authenticate that at this time this was signed by the judge and this is the court's ruling, and I am the seal of approval. I am saying that this is accurate and this is the time and the date. Well, it took a month from that to happen. And again, I'm not blaming the employees. Things happen, things get overlooked. This is a high-profile case, so one would think that a little bit more attention would be placed to it. I believe our district clerk came out on the record and she stated that it was her office's oversight, not necessarily the court's oversight. So which one is it? Now, again, common courtesy would be to advise both parties. The thing that doesn't make sense to me is what happened between that month. Why wasn't no parties advised? Now, again, do oversights happen? They happen. I'm not saying that they don't. I don't want to blame the Cameron County employee because it sounds as if our district clerk, maybe she's being a leader and she's saying, you know what, I'll take the fall for it because at the end of the day, it's my office's job to put this seal of approval. So here we have our district attorney who is, I would say, kind of, freaking out or scratching his head like, what's going on? An order was signed a month ago and my office is barely getting word of it on a Friday. So he filed his notice of appeal. And the way it works is that the district attorney's office has, I want to say, either 30 days from the date of the file stamp, to file this appeal. Now, was this done deliberately? And it just coming to me, is this done deliberately? Someone thought, oh, the judge signed it in March. Let's file it. Let's wait until April to file it. That way the DA's hands are, they can't do anything. Their hands are tied. That kind of came through my mind. But the way it works is, and the proper procedure is that an opposing party has 30 days to file an appeal from the date that an order is file marked. So that's very important. So again, we have a case, a very high profile case of nepotism within our school district that alleges that a board member used her position to put pressure on the superintendent or human resources to hire this certain individual. Now, it comes back that she is arrested, she is indicted, but her case is dismissed. And is dismissed in one of the most odd ways. And again, do things happen? Yes, they do. Again, the judge has all the information before her. Maybe she has information that we don't. And many people have stated, hey, Frankie, you jumped the gun. This woman did not vote on that agenda item. She abstained. Other people are saying, no, that's not the way it worked. She pulled hands behind the scenes. She made it known that, hey, this has to happen. But again, the judge did sign an order back in March, and it was file stamp by our district clerk on Friday. Now, again, the district attorney has 30 days from the date of the filing to file an appeal. So it's going to be interesting because the district attorney's office said, hey, we got no word of this. This is the first we're hearing of it. we're not hearing it from the court. We're hearing it from the media. We're hearing it from people, from outsiders. They're saying, hey, you may want to check on this. This case was dismissed. But again, board member Minerva Peña's nepotism case was dismissed by a judge. Our district attorney did file an appeal. So it's never a dull day in Cameron County politics, it seems. And now for our featured story. It seems as if when we try to take a few steps forward in our lives, there's always something that takes us back. We were shocked to get the news that the Supreme Court is anticipating on repealing Roe versus Wade. And the interesting thing about this case was that, the Supreme Court right now has voted to strike down Roe versus Wade according to initial draft majority that was written. And again, everything that we know now of this case is because it was leaked. Now, the impact that this would have would be extraordinary. And why? Because this would end a protection of abortion rights, which allowed every state to decide whether to restrict or ban abortion. And this is the first time in modern history that the public has seen a Supreme Court draft decision while the case is still pending. And whenever I think of the government, I think of secrecy. I think of a well-run institution. And when I think of the Supreme Court, the law of the land, individuals, that's the highest court. So for a document to be leaked, for an individual to take a picture of it, is a big no-no. And again, Roe versus Wade, it gave women the opportunity to take control of their bodies. It's my body, my choice. Well, this decision would take that back. It would give back the authority to the states. And again, many have stated that this isn't the right thing. Planned Parenthood, of course, who was actively fighting for Roe versus Wade, stated that this would not end abortion. It would simply mean that these women are no longer safe in our country. And we previously spoke about a female in Stark County, the state of Texas. As of right now, it is illegal to have an abortion. Well, this woman, she traveled into Mexico, took a pill, crossed back, wasn't feeling well, and she ended up having the baby. They ended up charging her with murder. And ultimately, her case ended up getting dismissed because there was that question of, okay, she committed a crime in Mexico, but then she came back, and then it doesn't jive. So many individuals have fought long and hard for having rights, for having control of their bodies. Now, the state of Texas, as we all know, as of right now, does not allow women to have this procedure. Now, many have questioned and said the Republicans have strategically waited for this opportunity. If we notice that the majority on the Supreme Court, the majority, not all, are Republicans and have been placed by a Republican president. President Trump had the opportunity to appoint David Smith. If you're still on here, I believe it's 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. And just to appoint one Supreme Court judge is a big deal. So for Trump to nominate 2, possibly 3, I want to say 3. Did he nominate 3? I know 2 for sure. Is a big deal. Why? Because you're able to put judges that have the same mindset as your party. And these judges, they sit there for life. So women, how would you feel if the federal government is saying this is wrong? You have to go to your state. Now, again, many have talked about the sanctity of life. And let's look at very quickly, let's look at this case in particular. These are the states that have an abortion right now, that have abortion restrictions. And, Texas, Arizona, what else we got here? Oklahoma, Kansas, Idaho, Utah, the southeastern part of the United States, no on abortion. But let's take a look at this. These are the states, the same states with the death penalty. Some are saying, oh, what about the sanctity of life? Let's go back. These states say it is bad to have an abortion because abortion kills. You're killing a baby. It is wrong. But these are the same states that promote the death penalty. And you're going to say, Frankie, those are two different things, apples and oranges. It's still a life at the end of the day. Now, I do want to make clear that I will never impose my beliefs on individuals. To me, abortion is a bad thing. There are cases of rape, of incest, of there are some special situations, but and it's a very delicate topic, as we all know. But I do not believe in abortion. But even though that is my belief, I am in no position to be able to condemn or judge individuals and say this is wrong. Why? Because this is the way I feel. I want every person, male or female, to have control of their bodies, to have control of their lives. I do not want nobody to tell me, Franco Olivo, what to do, and I will not tell you what to do. That's life. That's how I feel. But the interesting thing about these states is that they're saying that it's okay. The death penalty is okay, but abortion is not. A little bit of irony there. And David, we recently had President Biden. It was 3, right? Yeah, I knew it was 3. Thank you, David, for staying on and for confirming. So again, David, as you could vouch for this, when a president appoints a Supreme Court judge, it's a big deal. Again, these individuals serve for life, and they will be able to enforce laws, support laws that your party is in favor of, a la abortion. Senator Elizabeth Warren came on the tube yesterday angry, stating the Republicans have been waiting for this for many, many years. They have strategically placed individuals on that Supreme Court that they would be able to come back and annul this, to say Roe versus Wade is over. That it goes back to the states. And just recently, we had President Biden swear in Supreme Court Judge Brown Jackson, and they asked her, and they grilled him. They grilled him on the stand, and they say, I think they even asked her what classifies as a female, or what is a female. And she said, I'm not a biologist, or something like that. But the interesting thing is, they asked her about this case. They asked her, hey, what's your opinion on Roe versus Wade? And she said, hey, this is already settled. This is already set in stone. Why are you asking me to state something that's already into law, that they have already established a framework that the courts have reaffirmed? So this isn't something that I want to rehash. And again, maybe, she's playing, you got to be in the middle line. You can't cross this, you can't cross that, as we all know. You got to be firm in your questions. But for the judges to go back and say that Roe versus Wade is null, we're taking 3 steps back. Just when women, and the interesting thing about women is, I feel like if they were finally in stride in life, because as we all know, the pay discrepancy, the hiring process, many allege gender discrimination because they're females and they're not able to compete with men in certain professions. In the interview process, they get paid 75 cents to $1 compared to the male. There have been competition for women. I feel like if women are barely starting to get on that stride where, boom, everything's going good, and then Roe versus Wade, goodbye women's rights. Boom. Have we taken a step back as a society? Are we not allowing our individuals to exercise their human right to control their bodies? Um, is this bad for humanity? Is this appointed the most? He picked the first 7. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Harlingen. Good morning, Cindy. Say hello to the beautiful people in the city of Harlingen. Now, are we taking a step back for humanity? Uh, how do our women feel? Now, will this affect women moving forward? Yes. The state of Texas, the state of Texas is against abortion. Uh, they say that elections really matter. Moving forward, if Roe versus Wade does get voided, the power goes back to the states. The states will be able to decide if you could have an abortion, females or not. The state of Texas, as of right now, is not having abortions. The state of Texas has been Republican for many, many years, and it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. So, women, I fear for our women moving forward. We previously spoke about the case about a woman in Stark County that crossed the border, took a pill, came back. She was having symptoms. She wasn't feeling well. She lost a baby. She got charged with murder. There are depictions of hangers, unfortunately, of young women who have no escape and they feel that getting rid of the baby is their only option. Is this what we want for our women? Have we progressed as a society? I thought we did. I thought we were on that up and up where men and females were going to be equal. You know, females now, they like to be categorized as her, she, them. And we're like, okay, we'll give you what you want, girl. What you want? Well, how you want to be called? We'll call you what you want. But by taking away Roe versus Wade, we are doing a disservice to our females. We are saying that you do not control your bodies. Your body, the government's choice. That is the message that we are sending. And what about our young females? What about our young girls? How would this affect them? Again, abortion is a very sensitive topic, and I was scratching my head and saying, "How am I going to talk about this?" But it is something that needs to be said because it is very important. It is very important for us to stress that we should be vocal. We should reach out to our local representatives and ask them about their opinion regarding this very important issue. Again, I do not believe in abortion. I was raised and believe that that is considered murder. But just because I have my beliefs, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I could give you recommendations if you ask me, but I'm not going to go condemn you. But that's just me. So women moving forward, it does not look good. The state of Texas does not allow abortions, and it doesn't seem that they're going to change their minds. So now in June, we should be hearing of the Supreme Court's ultimate decision. Again, this is just a draft. This is just leaked documents. Now, it would look bad for the Supreme Court to reverse and turn course and say, "Oh, no, we're not." That was just a draft. It would look bad because they're saying, "Oh, so then, you did something, but at the last minute you got caught, so then now it's okay." So either way, it is going to be bad. But the final decision should come in June. So this summer should be a grim summer. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the rest of the story. It is 7:36 a.m. Wednesday. May the 4th be with you. Have a great day. God bless. Hope to see you guys here on Friday. Morning. Morning.